Hello, everybody. This is Betty, and this is part of my "We Don't Do This Alone" series. As you remember, I've been doing this series with the people around me who really support me in doing the wonderful work. And I'm here in New York City, and if you see that window that actually faces Wall Street, it's kind of nice. Anyway, I'm here tonight. We're going to have a reception with Fortune and Alpha and uh, People magazine for the 50 most powerful Latinas in business here in America.
Woohoo!
I have with me Annica, who is today a dear friend, and we've just been going over our journey, and I want to share with you about Annica and the incredible leader she is and role model she is. Uh, we met in 2015, Annica, at the No Glass Ceiling with Kelly Fidel. So a shout out for Kelly. Without Kelly, we wouldn't have met.
Yeah.
Where I was actually speaking, and you came up after the whole thing, and you gave me your book, and your book's name was The Last Single Mom, and you were literally in tears when we were talking, and I remember we embraced, and then you said, I want you to have this. When I went back to my table and I opened the book and I
Mhm.
saw what you wrote, I was deeply touched, because I knew that moment that you were someone of character. I knew that you were an incredible leader, willing to do whatever it takes to get the job done, or to really follow your passion. And as I've known you now for almost 3 years, we've had quite the journey. Um, but can you give us just a very quick update on, because I want people to know more about you, because you have quite the story. You were in the parliament when you made a jump.
Mhm.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I just want to say about that presentation. The first time I heard you on stage in California, you started talking, and I was seated at a table with a lot of women, and almost instantly I got that lump in my throat, and I thought, "Oh, this is special." And then it went on, and I sort of discreetly looked around, and I was going to look for Kleenex, and then a lady saw me. She just pushed the whole box over, and I was like, "Thank you." So yes, that really impacted me. So thanks for having me on your show. Um, the story, yes, I came to Luxembourg 18 years ago. I got offered a position at the European Parliament, and for me, it was a great adventure. And then once you get in there, um, it's a comfortable living situation. It's good. And then uh, and I enjoyed it. It's a interesting work environment, very multicultural. You get to see things high up in the hierarchy. So I enjoyed it very much, but I always felt that uh, I want to I want to make a difference. I want to be able to inspire and influence people to be and do more, be everything they possibly can. And that is not the ideal environment for that. It's interesting, but it's not for difference maker of that kind. So in 2014, I I jumped, crazy jump. People close to me seriously considered if I was losing it, because as a single mother of 3 little babies, you need financial security. And but I jumped. For me, it wasn't about being crazy. It was about wanting to live life, really living my life. So I had to.
And one of the things that I noticed about you was, and you were at a training with Kelly,
Hmm.
and I spoke about empowerment and I spoke about my life. And I think maybe that's what touched you to really believe that you could continue to do what you were doing. And there was a rainbow on the other side of all of this. And so you have been such a powerhouse, not just for me, but for other people. And I think, you know, you call me your mentor. I think we've been mentoring and supporting each other now for 2.5 years. And so if I were to give the trajectory, and I actually um, did a little map of kind of everything we have done together, and
Mm.
it's and I don't want to take a lot of time because I don't want to take away from what I'm here to talk about. But so you interview me from Luxembourg in a forum just like this,
Yep.
and that took a few months, and then I went to the Teen Entrepreneur Academy for Concord University, and I was a judge. And when the two young ladies, Vicky and Cheryl,
Cheryl.
won, I got them, and I did a video and I sent it to you, and I said, Annica, they're from Luxembourg. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Why don't you organize? And then you started to organize like a welcome for them. And then off came the Luxembourg Teen Entrepreneur Day. And you've got to appreciate this, that one person went to the entire country of Luxembourg and got everybody around one common topic. And this was, these teenagers get to be celebrated when they come home.
Mm.
And oh my goodness, were they celebrated. In fact, I saw them later and they told me everything you did for them. And it's amazing how just one meeting of two people from clear across the world can make such an impact when we just say, let's just do something.
Can
So
I add
you did
something
that.
there?
Yes,
Yeah. So
please, please.
in the process of that, of, what can I do for them? I read in your book, #values. I read in there the part where it talks about being someone's champion. And I mean, the whole concept, yes, it's logic, it's good, but I had never heard feelings or a way of being put in a way like this. But I felt like, putting on a super cape, and then I was just like, I'm gonna be their champion. So that the moment I read this was very it was a defining moment for me, that I could put words on something. I am being this, but I was just doing things. But to have it
Yes.
as a whole concept and the importance of it, that was a defining moment for me. So I
Oh, thank
felt like
you.
I want to be their champion, like you have been my champion. So please know
Oh,
that.
that's wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, don't make me cry here.
Mm,
Okay, so then you came back to California for conference.
mm,
You stayed at my home. You met my daughters. We broke bread together. We went to church together, and that was fantastic. And for me, that was quite the experience to just bring you into my sacred space,
mm,
into my home, and to bring you to meet my daughters, into which they love you. They fell in, of course they fell in love with you. Who doesn't fall in love with Annica? And then we went to a nice dinner, and we just planned, and it was all about planning. Oh my gosh, I've got to go to Luxembourg someday, and oh my goodness, could we do this? And how many times do we do that, right? We plan and we plan and we dream, and
mm.
then nothing happens except for this time.
Yep.
So then I went to Africa, and I was coming to Paris.
Hmm.
I'd never been to Paris. And I told you, oh my gosh, I'm going to Paris, and I'm going by myself, and I'm going to be there for a whole week. And now you speak, how many languages do you speak, Annica?
Well, I speak Swedish, English, and French good, and then I speak Luxembourgish so. Like no hablo español. No, I don't. I speak
Yes,
four
no, you
languages.
speak pretty well.
I
You
can
speak
wait well.
Spanish pretty well. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, so of course, you're French was fantastic and it helped me anyway. And so you came and you showed me the ropes and you took me to different places and you said, okay, this is how Paris is structured. So you take this and you go there, you take this and you spend 24 hours with me and we had a fabulous time. And then you said, okay, you're good now. Now you know where to go. So I'm going to leave. And so you went back home and you took the train. And this was on a moment's notice. You took the train and you came and then spent the night with me and then took the train back. And these are some of the moments, right? The moments of truth. There's so many moments of truth in our relationship, Annica. I could go on and on. And then after that, you know, we talked about, you know, building a business or doing something together or coming out and I mean, not building, but continuing to build your business and so forth. And then I came to the Vatican because I finished my book and I was doing a gratitude tour and a book tour. And that morning at 5 a.m., I remember I was getting ready to go to the airport and you and I were trying to put together a powerful women's conference for me to come and speak at in Rome, and it wasn't working.
No.
And so you sent me a text message or a WhatsApp message.
It felt like we'd been working pretty hard on it and we had our whole concept ready, who will say what, how long. So I felt like I was letting you down when I had to come to the conclusion, I can't go. It's not working. Childcare and we don't have a venue. So I didn't want to say I can't do it. So I'm just going to say it. I said, can you come to Luxembourg? But I knew that I can't ask you to come to Luxembourg, but I thought I'll just say it. So you know that I would like that to happen.
And at the same time, at exactly the same time, I was sending a text message because I thought, what if I go to Luxembourg? So the two messages literally crossed each other. Mm-hmm. And we both got the identical message at the same time. And it was like one of those moments that you say, okay, this is meant to be. We've got to do this.
Yeah.
And so I came to Luxembourg. I had a photojournalist with me, Susie Fortunati, who flew out with me and she recorded everything. And when I called her, she was already in Paris. I was delayed for a day because of an emergency at the bank. Something happened. And so she was already in Rome. And I said, hey, I'm going to Luxembourg tomorrow morning. Do you want to go? I'll buy your airline ticket. And she said, Luxembourg? What is in Luxembourg? And I can't just get up and go. And I could just feel the stress. And I said, just think about it. I'm going to get on the plane in a couple of hours. I will see you in however many hours. And we'll talk about it when I get to Rome. Sure enough, after hearing about you, Annica, she just couldn't say no. She said, I want to go. I want to go. I want to meet this Annica. Anyway, so we came to Luxembourg. And you had put together with a 48-hour notice. And you've got to appreciate this. 48-hour notice, you have a room full of immigrants, refugees, business leaders, students, men and women of all ages. I would say they ranged from about early 20s. And I mean, the girls were there. Vicky and Cheryl were there, and they're in their teens. To about 60 plus. I mean, all ages from all walks of life, from about, I think it was 35 people, 35 countries. You think it was 27. So I'm thinking about, you know, over 25 countries for sure were represented. And you had the Luxembourg Times there. Yeah. They did a feature article, front page feature article, and they were so gracious. What a fantastic news. I was very impressed with that newspaper, by the way, because they were very conscientious. They brought their own photographer and they were talking to different people, and very, very graceful. Yeah. And so here we are now, we're talking about different things, but so I'm here, I'm in New York City, and I'm getting honored. And I feel like you have been such a big part of my life, and you have been such a big part of so many different things that I've done. And you're just such an epitome I think if you were in America, you would be coming to New York with me,
Oh
and
yeah.
you would be one of the top 50 most powerful women.
No, I
Uh,
would be in the
and
audience cheering for you.
no, you wouldn't. You would be receiving an award, um, and I want to highlight you, and I want the world to know, Annika. I want the world to know that you are an example of a mother, of a leader, of someone who really makes a huge impact. Your story is just the epitome of the success story. It's a Cinderella story. You know, Cinderella went from zero to high, and you went from high to zero, not because of circumstances, but because you chose to follow your passion and you chose to really make an impact in others. And I have seen it. When I came to your home, you prepared my favorite meals, and you put on my favorite music, and you gave me my favorite wine. And I'm thinking, how does she know to cook, you know, steak and asparagus and mushrooms and the Cabernet and every little detail. And then you had my father's song. And I'm thinking, what in the world? And come to find out, you reached out to my daughter before I got there.
Yeah.
And she gave you the recipes on how to even cook my favorite food or the favorite meals that my daughters and I, so you gave me, that my daughters and I have enjoyed, so you gave me this comfort. And this is who you are, Annika. You are unique, and you take the time to really make every single individual feel like they are the kings and the queens, just like you are, and just like you do for your children. And you take the time, and you know, we're talking about going back to Luxembourg, and perhaps meeting with some of the folks in government there, and perhaps doing some wonderful things for your community there.
Hmm.
And I've got to say that if every individual that has courses or training sessions or workshops or speaking engagements or anything like that were 1/10 of who you are, if their heart was 1/10 of yours, this world would absolutely be a better place. And I'm so humbled and so grateful to God for bringing us together. And I consider you one of my closest, dearest friends and confidants, and someone that I can trust. I would trust you with my children. I would trust you with my people. And I can't wait to see what we get to do together, because this is, you know, it's only been 2.5 years, almost 3 years. And I feel like we're just touching the tip of the iceberg. This is only the beginning. So thank you so much
Well,
for
thank you. There's
everything.
not really something. Uh, what do you say to that other than thank you so much for saying that? It's very healing to hear you say all this. It's, I mean, I know you, I appreciate you closely. You're with me when, even if you're far away. So I feel you, but to hear, it's very healing and wonderful. So thank you. Um, and please never forget that you have made an incredible difference in my life. You've made an impact that has made me a better person, without any doubt. That has helped me to raise to standards that I didn't. I was surprised that, you know, you can always improve, and I didn't see that coming. But being connected with you makes me grow. So
Well,
thank
I
you.
think, you know, I always say to people, if you want to be it, be with it, right? And I think that because you and I are think so much alike, and we try to surround ourselves with people that are just real good caliber people.
Mhm.
Man, it will be wonderful the next time you come to the United States, because I want to put together a reunion of the folks that are on these videos and get
Oh,
you to
nice.
meet everyone,
Yeah.
because together we're stronger. And I always say that, you know, collaboration, communication, teamwork, and genuine care. And
Hmm.
that's when we lock arms, men and women, and that's when we really become stronger. So thank you so much. Tonight is the reception, and then tomorrow we get a full day, and I'm going to bring you with me.
Enjoy
And I'm
it.
just in deep gratitude. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
You're so
Annika.
worth it.
All
Hashtag
right.
values.
Yay. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye now.